For diabetics, sometimes planning a party can be a little challenging. You need to prepare dishes that everyone will enjoy, but will also keep your sugar levels in check. Spartan Stores has an entire section dedicated online to help people with diabetes. And today we're going to show you how to make a side dish that you can use for any party. Amy Sherman, as I almost knock everything over here, is a chef at Spartan Culinary Kitchen, which I think is a wonderful asset of the Spartan Stores, that anybody can take these classes and learn how to cook for themselves and things like that. They can learn how to make these dishes and everything else that's offered there. But what are we making today?
Well, today we're doing a diabetic friendly appetizer. A lot of people have tried hummus, I know, and it's a really popular appetizer, but a lot of times it has hidden fats in it.
Yeah.
It might have corn syrup in it, you never know it. So this is kind of a version of hummus in a sense, but it has a totally different flavor profile. So it's a white bean, a cannellini bean, roasted garlic and rosemary dip. And it's great for diabetics because it's very high in protein, which is one of the things that's important, and it's low in the carbohydrates. And if you have a really great protein level, which you get from the beans, then you're not going to have the rise and the fall in your blood sugar.
It's a good point to make.
Canned beans are great. Any brand of canned beans is fine. The trick to the canned bean is you want to put them in a colander and rinse them off. And what that does is it rinses off the soluble sugars of the beans. And that gets rid of a lot of the extra sodium. It gets rid of that kind of canned taste, and it also gets rid of the stuff that gives you gas. So that's the trick.
I like that. That's the best thing we've learned all day.
Right. So just rinse your beans and you're going to be so happy with them.
Well, let's start the recipe.
Sure. Why don't we turn the stove on?
Okay.
And what I have over here, you want me to do that? Come on, chef. So this is there's a lot of great things about this recipe, and one of the things that I really love to do is I love to take garlic cloves, and garlic is something that's so good for your heart. It's such a heart-healthy thing.
Okay.
So we're going to just let that cook for a minute. It also has some rosemary in it, and that's essentially infusing the olive oil. And remember that extra virgin olive oil is delicious and it's great for your heart.
But you still have to be careful about servings and using too much of it.
Absolutely. It does have fat, but it is a good fat. So that's an okay fat to incorporate. So we have our canned beans here that we already rinsed and got rid of all those icky soluble sugars. So those are all set. And then we're also going to add some toasted sliced almonds.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it adds a great nutty flavor,
Okay.
but it also has a lot of folic acid, vitamin E, more fiber. And then we have a lemon. Now, have you ever seen one of these?
Yes, a zester.
Yes, this is called a rasp, and we love to use this in the culinary classroom because zest is a freebie. There's no fat in it. So you can add it to stuff without feeling guilty at all, and it's going to add tons and tons of lemon flavor. And then we're going to add, you can smell the garlic now?
Yeah.
And the rosemary. And then we're going to add just a little bit of the lemon juice. And this is lemon juice. A lot of times you can add lemon juice because it's an acid, and you won't need to add quite as much salt. And so it can help you cut down on the salt intake. So we are going to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And then if you want to turn that off,
okay.
And the key here is that we're not going to add all the oil, but all of this oil can be used for like a salad dressing or to saute chicken with.
You don't want to waste it.
Don't waste it. So just throw it back in your fridge, and it's going to have this incredible garlic and rosemary flavor already infused in it that people spend big bucks to buy at the store, and here we just made it ourselves. Okay. And then we're just going to grind this up. Now, if you don't have a food processor like this, you certainly could make this in your blender. You could even use a handheld potato masher and just mash it up.
And it doesn't take very long, and that's the great. How many servings do you think you make out of this?
Out of 1 can of beans, it's probably 6 to 8 servings.
And that's one of the things that you need to remember, too, is that as much as we love hummus, you can't eat, a cup of it.
You don't want to eat a cup of it, but this one is so low in fat that you could eat a cup of it probably.
And it doesn't take very long. We've got the recipe online. It smells wonderful. It looks wonderful. I love the alternative with the beans. Thank you so much for coming, Amy, and reminding us about these great classes that we can take. If you would like a copy of this recipe, log on to wzzm13.com and click on Healthy You. Up next, we'll answer your questions about controlling a weak bladder in today's Just Ask.